Welcome to our channel. On this channel, we talk about law of assumption and how to manifest the best version of your life, the best version of yourself, and how to do it. We are sharing all kind of tips, and we share what worked in our personal lives, and also through coaching with our clients. We have success stories, we have evolutions of what's going on. So we like to share all this with you to help you and give you some, some more tips, some knowledge on how to do it. Before we start, we have a free course that we give away. It is called how to identify your blocks and oh my goodness, please let me rephrase this. The free course is on how to identify your blocks and manifest anything fast. So the description is in the box below. You can download it for free. All right, so today I want to talk about, a session I had with a client. And when I tell you about what happened with my clients, of course, it remains anonymous, and I always have their consent, right? It's not like you're gonna book coaching with me and I'm gonna tell you live on YouTube next week. No. So they always say that I can share. So that's why I do. And the reason why I like to do it is because often, their stories is something that you can relate. Not maybe to the exact same scenario or how it's being played out, but something similar, and then you can recognize a thought pattern that you've had without being aware of it, and then you can change it. So this is what happened to her. She told me, okay, we started a session and she was not feeling good. She was very upset. She goes, I had a nightmare. It was absolutely horrible. I dreamt about my SP, and I went to see him and he was completely ignoring me. He was talking to other girls, and then I left, and I was hoping that he would go after me, but he didn't. That in the dream, right? And then she came back, and right there in front of her, he said to another girl, do you want to go get a slice of pizza? And they left holding hands. So that was her absolute nightmare. And I'll tell you why. Because first of all, she's not with SP right now. As a matter of fact, they have no contact. They have no contact, and the last time they had contact was a few months ago. And SP told her that they were involved. They were in a relationship, and he ended things. Okay, he ended things, and he said he wanted to, move forward in life, look at other options, and why not meet other people? So now they're in this position of no contact. I said that. Okay. So also, the reason why it was a nightmare, she mentioned, I'm trying to remember all the details, but what was important is that there were other girls. So that was kind of, in her mind, where she got traumatized when he said to her face to face, not in a dream, in real life, a few months ago, that he wanted to break up because he felt like he wanted to look at his options. He wanted to meet new people. He wanted to see where those connections could lead. So in the dream, there were a bunch of girls around him. And then one of the things that she used to not like in the relationship was his lack of tenderness towards her. In public, even though they were in public, they were doing things. However, he would never kiss her in public, and he would never hold her hand in public. And that was something that she did not like. She wanted to change that. However, when that was happening, and that was before we were coaching together, she, instead of saying, I don't like it, my SP is never holding my hand in public, or is never kissing me in public, she would just complain about it in her mind, rehearsing the inner conversation over and over and over. I wish he would hold my hand. He's never holding my hand. Why do I look at other people around us holding each other's hands. Look at them. Why do they have so much, why do those other people get so much affection from their specific person and I'm not. And again, she would repeat it and repeat it. So the more she repeated what she was doing without being really conscious or aware of, is that she was creating momentum to that statement, to that affirmation, making it so big that it ended up by pushing out to the point where he completely did not want to hold her hand, not even have her by her side. He broke up with her and they were done. So, of course, when that happened, that's not what she wanted, and she didn't like it, and she has been rethinking about it, revisiting what had occurred when he broke up, but not revising it. She didn't revise it. She just revisited it the way it played out in the 3D, and she kept on, thinking about it. So when we started coaching together, what she wanted to do was, well, of course, to bring him back and bring him back as a better version. So we created affirmations for it, and I asked her to, as a homework, to really work on it, meaning either write the affirmations several times a day, or write them once and then read them 3-4 times a day, just to really bring all those affirmations in your mind, saturate your mind with those new truths until they become a belief in the subconscious mind and they get pushed out. All right, so let's talk about the subconscious mind a little bit before we go back to the story. What happens is your consciousness has two parts, the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. So the conscious mind is the one that gets to choose. So sometimes you don't even know what you're choosing, but you're choosing everything, right? Because everything that's happening to you is actually, when we say your creation, it comes from you, your decisions, your assumptions, your beliefs, all right? So it all comes from you. So the conscious mind will make the decisions and then will transmit to the subconscious mind the orders, if you wish. And the subconscious mind is the part of your consciousness that delivers, that gives birth to the ideas, that gives birth to the beliefs that bring them into manifestation. So when you repeat an affirmation over and over and over, it becomes a belief, and the subconscious mind will push this out. The reason why you don't say an affirmation just once and it gets pushed out, it's because the subconscious mind will give birth, if you wish, to the dominant story, the dominant belief. So let's say you say, something very simple. I want a red pencil. Now, you have no resistance. You have no backstories over getting a red pencil or being gifted a red pencil. It's just something that you know what you want. You may say it once because now you don't have any blocks or resistance. So that becomes an automatic belief in the subconscious mind that can be pushed out, and you get your red pencil right away. So you feel like, hey, great. I manifested my red pencil with one affirmation. Yes, there was no momentum of an opposite story that would, overcome the opposite, or overtake the belief, an opposite belief. So when you are traumatized by an event such as your SP breaking up with you, and you did not intend, you did not desire to be separated, that you wanted the relationship, then the trauma is such a powerful thing that it's thrown in your face as a set in stone, concrete, real statement, right? And that becomes a belief. Yes, I believe it. My SP broke up with me and I believe it, and now it's that's the dominant belief. So that's the one that gets from your subconscious mind pushed out into your reality. So when we work at recreating a scenario or recreating a story to manifest something opposite than what we have currently in our 3D reality, we write our affirmations and we repeat them. We have to repeat them enough times. It's the repetition that will create the new belief that can then become the dominant belief to be pushed out. Because if you only said a few times, okay, my SP loves me, my SP loves me, my SP wants to be in a relationship with me, my SP actually is coming back and ask me for us to be back together. If you only said once or twice, but then the dominant story would be the one that traumatized you, when, you know, the one that was thrown in your face when they broke up with you. That's the dominant belief. That's what will be pushed out. So we have to, you know, when we say retrain our brain, is to really saturate our brain with the new affirmations, the new intentions that create the new story, so we can change what gets pushed out. When we say it's being pushed out, yes, you know, everything comes from us, and that's what we see in our 3D reality. It's also the same thing as saying bringing our awareness to one of the infinite possibilities. Because when what your awareness is on is backed up by a belief. So all those theories, you know, come into one. It's the same. It would be the same thing. They all support each other. So you change your story, you affirm and affirm until it becomes a belief, until it gets pushed out by your subconscious mind, and then this is what you get to enjoy and experience in your 3D reality. It's the same thing as choosing another of the infinite possibilities. So you choose another of one of the infinite possibilities, yes, but in order for you to stick to that story and, you know, really keep your awareness on it, it has to be repeated. So that's, you know, the importance of a mental diet. It's the importance of sticking to the story that you want. So what happened with her nightmare, to go back to our story with her nightmare, she wanted to bring SP back into her life. So we did, you know, we created some affirmations that he was madly in love with her, and they were together in a committed relationship, and they were together, they were getting married, and she had this end scene, you know, where they were at the wedding. She had stepping stone scenes where she was trying on the dress. She could imagine her best friends and her mother at the shop or the store where they make the dresses. She was trying on the dress. They were drinking the champagne. So she had all this imagined. So all those imaginational scenes, they're good. They're stepping stones towards the committed relationship, the long-lasting marriage, but they support the end scene. So it's okay to have stepping stone end scenes as long as they all support the end scene, right? So she was practicing all this, and then she got freaked out by the nightmare. So my take, and that's, you know, that's the way I see it, that's the way I've experienced it in my own life, and that's what I believe. I believe that a dream pretty much shows you the state you're in. So in her case, there was a state of anxiety around her personal trainer, a specific person. Oh, he was not a personal trainer. I don't know why I thought of that. But so I asked her, I said, well, how did you go to bed last night? What state of mind were you in for you to, you know, just to see? And, you know, I tried to dig a little bit to see if there was any anxiety and all this. And she goes, well, you know what happened? Yesterday at work, my coworker received a an amazing bouquet of flowers. So her own SP sent in, so she got delivered this beautiful bouquet of flowers, and she was so excited, she was so happy. So my client was happy for her worker. The flowers are beautiful, and that was really nice that she received this beautiful gift from her SP. However, she started thinking, and I said, okay, right here, tell me your thoughts right here and right then. What were you thinking about? And she was like, well, that I'm alone, that nobody's sending me flowers, nobody's thinking of me, that my SP dumped me, and she was not really in a state of mind to date again or to attract anyone. She was still very sad and traumatized from this breakup, because she was in love with her SP. She's still in love with her SP, and she wants him back, which is fine. So anyways, the fact was that she had feelings towards that were triggered by the bouquet of flower delivered to her coworker, and those feelings were linked to the anxiety that came with the breakup and the fact that they were in separation and she was rejected, she was not chosen, she was not claimed. And because these were familiar feelings, because she has been rehearsing those feelings in her mind, she's been rehearsing in her mind that horrible day when she got broken up with, and the way she remembered, those feelings were attached to it. So yesterday, with the flowers being delivered, she re-practiced all this in her mind unconsciously. It made her feel sad. It reminded her that she was alone. It reminded her that she got dumped by her SP. So because it was familiar, and she practiced it, not that she practiced, she thought about it a lot, but because it was familiar and it was a practiced set of feelings with the anxiety and all that, the rejection, it was the dominant, that little bundle of feelings that were not creating a desired outcome, was really more dominant, because lately that's what she's been feeling. And she has been feeling that way because she's been thinking over and over about this breakup. It was really putting her in that down, spiral. And because it was familiar, because she was thinking about it so much, and because it was the dominant feeling, also the dominant belief, that's exactly what kept on being pushed out. So she fell asleep with that anxiety. And I do believe that the last feeling you go to sleep with, when you fall asleep, you go through the fully aware state to that in-between state to the sleeping state. Well, she was in that state right before falling asleep. She was still feeling anxiety. She was upset. She took this feeling with her to sleep. The last feeling you fall asleep with is a feeling that, is in your subconscious mind, and it's reflected in your dreams. That's why she had the nightmare. That's why in her dream she had, SP showing up all the behaviors that made her anxious. So there's nothing really to fear about. That's just, once again, just like 3D. Dreams are just like 3D. They may indicate where you stand. And from there, you can just, breathe, regroup, and say, wow, okay, in her case, that was just a dream. It was just a reflection of the way I fell asleep, the anxiety that I took with me falling asleep. It's not a big deal. I am going to go back to neutral and rework on my story. You start with feeling neutral. You don't need to feel all excited and loved, but you start with neutral, and you build yourself up with a mental diet. it's with the mental diet, but you have to stick on it. So make sure, guys, make sure that when you go to sleep, the last feelings, the last, you know, NC mental, NC, the last thoughts that you have right before you fall asleep are thoughts and feelings that support your end scene, what you want to have manifest in your life. So, you know, if you really want to recreate your SP coming back to you, loving you and only you, and being in a fully committed relationship with your SP, make sure that you fall asleep with that end scene. Because then you are out of the way. You're unconscious sleeping. Your subconscious mind does not sleep. And now it's going to play on that. And then when you wake up, you continue with your mental diet. Now you create this huge momentum. You create a belief. And this is going to be pushed out. This is going to be the reality you land in. And that's going to be there for you to experience and you know, enjoy. So be aware of your feelings before you fall asleep. All right, guys, check out our website. I have for sale hypnosis tracks that are guided meditation, relaxation. I always say meditation. They're guided relaxation with an induction where you listen to them when you are in a very safe place where it's safe for you to fall asleep, because they may put you to sleep. Which is fine. Then we have a whole bunch of affirmation tracks. I have thoughts transmission track and rampages. All of these are tools to keep you on track of your mental diet, to keep you in that mood and, you know, creating those feelings of, to create what it is that you want. Please check the website out. Other than that, thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please hit that button, and I will see you next week. Bye bye.